What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics, and today we have an album reaction for the duo Phantogram and their album 3, brought to us by our patron, longtime friend and supporter of the channel, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Always appreciate you. Mark brings an eclectic mix, some great music to the channel. We thank all our patrons. They keep the lights on here. If you'd like to become a patron, check out the link below. We much appreciate it. Also, give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Let's dive in. Trey and I did a reaction to a song from Phantogram months ago. I do remember enjoying it, but otherwise, I don't know anything else about them. So a little background. This is their third, obviously it'd be weird if it isn't, but it's their, you never know. It's their third studio album released in October of 2016. They've since had another album come out last year. Debuted at number 9 on the US Billboard Top 200 album charts. They're an American music duo from Greenwich, New York, formed in 2007, consisting of multi-instrumentalist and vocalist Sarah Barthel and Josh Carter. Other people come into the band, obviously, to assist on things. The band defined their music as electronic rock, dream pop, electronica, and trip hop, and have described their sound as, quote, street beat psych pop. According to Carter, their music has lots of rhythm, swirling guitars, spacey keyboards, echoes, airy vocals. They both were inspired by numerous artists, and there's a ton of them here, including the Beatles, Bowie, Jay Dilla. That's where the electronica stuff would come in. The Flaming Lips, Sonic Youth, Yes, Kevin Shields, Prince, and many others. They write and record in a remote barn in upstate New York called Harmony Lodge. It's pretty cool. The band has released 4 studio albums, 4 EPs, and 10 singles. All that to say, I try to dive into a bunch of research. There isn't a ton out there for this, but I do have some quotes from the artists themselves, which is always nice, which you get on some of these newer artists and newer albums. I always like to see their insight. But we're going to kick this off with the first track, Funeral Pyre, I think is how you would pronounce that. I don't have anything to add to the song, nothing on the research side, but as always, I'll have the lyrics up, and if this is your first time joining us, I want you to know that the music will not be in this reaction, but if you want to listen along with me, there's a link below that's going to have all the music. If you already know this album, just want to know what I think of it, hang out right here. Once again, thanks, Mark. Funeral Pyre. If you watch this channel a lot, you know I'm a lyrics guy, so is Trey. We love lyrics. But I'll tell you what, there's sometimes when I want to just vibe to the music and not have to work so hard to decipher the lyrics, and that's what this song was in a very good way. A great instrumentation. I mentioned towards the end, the drumming is fantastic. I see percussion's credited to Ricky Reed, Matt Chamberlain, and Josh Carter. Written by Ricky Reed, Sarah Barthel, Dan Wilson, and Josh Carter. So they were all over this thing. So I don't know who exactly was doing the drumming here, but great. Just the electronica feel. I think Sarah's voice sounds fantastic, the way it's mixed, the echoing effects at first. I think the lyrics might just be, she's going down, you know, I don't know how, like she's just in a very bad spot. She uses the sea as the metaphor there. Light in the sky, day into night, out at sea, paralyzed, all I see is your eyes. My funeral pyre, my ship of fire, as it sinks I rise, all I see is your eyes, your eyes, your eyes. Light in the sky. That's the lyrics, boys and girls. In 4 minutes, that's all there is. But they draw that out. The instrumentation comes in all these places. A very, very nicely arranged song and engineered song, like the mixing here by Manny Marroquin. It all just works. We even got a glockenspiel. You can't go wrong with a glockenspiel. Let's move on to the second track. We have Same Old Blues. Sarah actually had this to say. In general, our influences range so much, and we always try to put as many influences as we can in our songs. Same Old Blues turned out more gospel than shoegaze. It's one of my favorite songs on the record. That's a nice little intro. That's got me intrigued. Let's check out Same Old Blues. Same Old Blues. Totally different than the first track, Funeral Pyre. Really enjoyed this one. I should have mentioned the intro and that repeating lines in there. It's a sample from Voices of Conquest song, Oh Yes, My Lord. The same sample appears in Common's song, Kingdom. So that song must have had some juice. Never heard of it. But she starts out with that, you know, oh yes, my Lord, he will surely bring you peace. Verse 1, nothing new, it's just the same old blues. She just goes through in the song all the issues that she has. Everything will fall apart. You can never save my soul. I think it's time to let me go. In the chorus, I keep on having this dream where I'm stuck in a hole and I can't get out. There's always something that's pulling me down, down, down. whether it's bad luck, whether it's vices, whatever it is, she can't get away from those same old blues. The hook is so, Sarah's just the MVP on this song, man. Her vocals are spot on, changes the delivery on them. On the hook, she goes to a little different delivery, and this is nothing new. It's just the same old blues. Second verse comes, the chorus comes, and there's this instrumental bridge that is a fantastic guitar. Sounds real electronica to start with, and then that fantastic guitar just goes and totally different than the rest of the song. Then we bring it back down into the chorus. Hard for me to believe we're only 2 songs in, but that this won't be one of my favorites. Let's march on to this third track, You Don't Get Me High Anymore. This was a single. They did an interview with Pitchfork, and they spoke of the inspiration behind this song. They said it's kind of about this feeling of everything being redundant and nothing being good enough. Metaphorically, it's about addiction. It's also about certain things that we see in culture, pop culture, and even music that we find redundant. Boy, tell me about it nowadays. That we've always kind of strayed from as a group. It also taps into this idea of wanting to feel something, basically wanting to feel something strong and doing whatever it takes to feel it again because you know it feels good and you miss it. They also both say the song is a new musical progression for them, saying it's funky and dark, it's sample heavy, the lyrics are dark, the melodies are emotional, and it makes you just want to move. We started the idea, again, the way we always do, with one of Josh's beats. I grabbed it from him, obviously, this is Sarah talking, and added some weird stuff. And from there, we moved into the studio where we decided to collaborate with some other people. It turned out to be a really awesome thing, and we're really proud of it and really pumped for everyone to hear it. And Sarah also said it's less about drug use and more about trying to find that happiness that was once easy to find when life was more simple and less complicated. I remember those days. The older I get, I remember them less. Growing up and dealing with tragedy, relationships, friendships, everyday tasks that were once easier. It's an easy metaphor to tie it to drug addiction, but we're all trying to find happiness in life. Sometimes it's harder to find that. What a build-up. Looking forward to this one. Sounds like it's going to be a lot different than the previous two. You Don't Get Me High Anymore. Great song. Once again, Sarah sounds fantastic. Instrumentation is great and varied. When I read the lyrics, I definitely see it more as a relationship than drugs. I can see in places where you could take it as drugs, but, she just kind of talks about the first verse, some different things. Woke up stoned in the backseat from a dream where my teeth fell out of my head. Josh says he has those dreams all the time. I read there in the genius part of it. Pre-chorus, walk with me to the end, stare with me into the abyss. Do you feel like letting go? I wonder how far down it is. Sarah said another thing she said about the song, it's supposed to be sort of a head scratcher. It should mean whatever it means to you. That's what we like most about the lyrics. It's full of polarizing imagery that can mean whatever they want to you. Always like that. And then the chorus, nothing is fun. Not like before. You don't even get me high anymore. Used to take 1. Now it takes 4. You don't even get me high anymore. So I can see where people would think that's drugs, but you can tell it's a relationship for the most part, or at least that's what it means to me, I guess, from what Sarah said. It can mean whatever I want. But 3 songs, 3 definitely different musical styles, and really enjoying this one so far. Now let's go to song number 4, Cruel World. It samples a song from Lee Moses called Every Boy and Girl. Cruel World, you could feel, and I said it during the reaction, you could feel those trip hop influences in there. I don't consider it a trip hop song, but it was mixed in there. Basically, boys and girls, somebody screwed Sarah over badly and she's done with them, and it's kind of jaded her on any future relationships, at least any feeling towards them. Starts out, I'm putting you out of your misery because, darling, you're dragging me down. I wish I could say that I'm sorry, but I'm over that now. I'm taking you out. It's a cruel, cruel world. Talks about used to see beauty in people. Now she doesn't see that anymore. I never wanted to hurt you, but I'm sorry, my friend. This is the end. And then the chorus, so I'm saying my goodbyes. Goodbye to my good side. It only ever got me hurt. The trust in people, the giving in to people, the giving herself to people, it got her hurt, and it jaded her so bad that she shut that down, and so many people do that. And I finally learned it's a cruel, cruel world. Erasing you from my mind, I'm sorry, but I'm cutting all the ties. And she just goes on to say, she's saying her goodbyes. It's a cruel, cruel world. Enjoyed the lyricism on that. Enjoyed her vocal performance again. Actually enjoyed everything about that song. And we're almost already halfway through this record. Let's move on to Barking Dog. During the recording of this album, Sarah's sister had killed herself. In a 2016 interview, the year this came out, the band revealed that while the song was already planned, this tragic event had a major influence on not only the song, but the entire album. Josh, who writes a majority of the lyrics, commented specifically on the subject. He said it was already on the list, but after Becky's passing, it turned into something that was more of a priority, something that I just had to get out. Wow. Imagine this one's going to be powerful. Wow. Barking Dog. It's only 3 minutes long, but it packs so much into you. It starts out, I mentioned it during the reaction, but if you're not watching along with it, little Baba O'Reilly almost underlying thing going on there. And then Josh makes his first appearance on lead vocals. And when you understand what the song's about going in, it's so powerful. Head on the bathroom floor, talking in my demon voice. Millions of years go by. Memories of peace and love. Killing to reconstruct. And what will the label do? Then we get a little hurt people too. I'm sorry for what I've done. So I don't know if they've already done it. He's writing from that aspect. Millions of years go by. Memories of peace and love. Talking to the barking dog. The piano, is kind of underlined. The instrumentation is really good on this. It's stripped back. It's very low key, which it needs to be because it's all about the song itself. We have some echoing in there on his vocals sometimes, almost like a dream-like environment, which perfectly fits what the song's about. I'm sorry for what I've done. And then never mind the barking dog. I don't know exactly what he's talking about here, and it's probably open to interpretation. Is the barking dog those people talking to this person, telling them all this stuff, that you're fine? Or is the barking dog, the person themselves who keep, that it's committed suicide or is about to, whatever the perspective of this is coming from. And, don't worry about it. They're just talking out and acting out. They just want attention. They're talking about that, and then, this actually happens. But, wow, man, that is powerful. Wow, just so powerful. I don't know what else to say about it. I know we're halfway through this album. I'm having a very hard time picking my favorites because so far it's been diverse and absolutely outstanding. Let's move on to track 6, You're Mine. It samples from Them Two song called Am I a Good Man? This sample also appears in Ghostface's Purified Thoughts. Wow, some diversity there. Let's check this one out. You're Mine. Once again, a different song. I didn't like it as much as the first 5 songs, but I still respect it for what it is. And very interesting instrumentally and just the way they arrange it. We got Josh and Sarah for the first time singing together, trading verses back and forth from a man's perspective to a woman's perspective about a highly possessive relationship. Maybe even an abusive relationship at times. But, it starts out right away. You don't talk to no one. Don't you look at nothing. Focus on me. Look at me. Look into my eyes. Come a little closer. Let me tell you something. Eat your ego, honey. Swallow your pride. You don't talk to no one. Don't you look at nothing and focus on me. Because you're mine. And this in that chorus, because you're mine. Then they get into the second verse. Kind of, I want to hear the things you say when no one's listening. But that don't matter anyway. Because you're mine. We get in the chorus again. And then the bridge. No one's going to love you. No one's going to touch you. No one's going to look at you the way I do. No one's going to save you, build you up, and break you. I'm the one you pray to every night because you're mine. So obviously there's where the possessive and maybe even abusive. And it's an interesting thing because I think it switches. I'm just speculating here. When he's singing, it's from the man's perspective. When Josh does, when Sarah does, it's from the women's perspective. Like I said, not a favorite on here, but I do respect it for what it was, and it was a really cool song. Now we're going to move on to Answer. The most interesting song, I think, instrumentally, right? We had all kinds of things in here. About 2/3 of the way through, you get this guitar sound, little shoegaze sound that was mixed way back deep, brings up a little My Bloody Valentine, Loveless type of sound there that kind of grew. They never went fully into it, but you hear all kinds of different influences in this very song. Starts off with Sarah singing, but then Josh comes in and they kind of trade back and forth. They both sound really good. I think they need an answer. The relationship's broken. It's probably over, but they need that answer. And, we've all been in those things, or I think most of us have, where it doesn't seem like it's going right, but that other person really won't tell you what's up, or they tell you nothing's wrong, but you keep pressing because it is. They say, be with the one that you love, be with the one that you love. I can't make you stop, can't make you stop, can't make you stop when you're already gone. And you can't hold me down because I need an answer. I need an answer, love. The only part of it, I don't know what I thought of it, but it was interesting and drew me in right away. Is the start of the record, if you were watching, or the start of the song, if you were watching along with me, you heard me say, but it almost sounded like the record was skipping, right? If I was on vinyl, I'd be looking for correcting that. But I don't know what I thought. It almost broke, it kept breaking the melody. You had this pleasant piano sound, and then it was this jarring difference, but it did make me really pay attention. They ended with that just a little bit in the outro, but then they smoothed it out. But a very interesting song that I enjoyed. And now we're going to go to the longest track. These next two tracks are the two longest tracks on the album, but we're going to go to Run, Run, Blood. Run, Run, Blood. For me, the most electronica song on here, a little bit of trip hop in there. Different, wonderful production on this, different mixing and vocal treatments. We got Sarah mainly, but Josh comes in here. You know, it starts off, hey, wolf, there's lions in here, there's lions in here, there's lions in here. So I don't know if someone's stalking her or trying to get to her or whatever, but she's warning them, you know, look, there's lions in here, wolf. You may be a wolf, but now there's lions, so you better watch out. And then he comes in extra, read all about it. You think you slow me down. I highly doubt it. I own the paper, boys, and you're the buyer. Your world is my world now to live and die in. And then the chorus comes in. That's where you get the pre-chorus, the run, 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 blood. The chorus, follow me. She sings this, so not him. Follow me into a swarm of bees. Swallow everything you don't believe. Drink away all your memories. Say goodbye to your family. It's bigger than life. It's bigger than love. It's bigger than us. Bigger than all. She repeats that again. So it kind of just goes through quicksand, quicksand. What's so surprising? Make your decision, man. Sinking or rising. Sew up your eyelids. Now you're divided. Money for loyalty. That's how I like it. So I don't know if you're losing your soul, selling out to something that you don't really believe in, but you're doing it for the money or for the fame. I don't know, right? It could be relationships. I think it's part of what she said way earlier on Funeral Pyre, the very first track. Like, it can mean whatever you want, or maybe it was the second track that she said this on. It can mean whatever you want it to mean. I think that's where these are a little bit ambiguous lyrics, and I like that about it. Not one of my favorites, but definitely different, and that's been a theme on this. And now we're up to Destroyer, second longest track on here. Let's check it out. Destroyer. Great tune. The chorus is fantastic. Very catchy. Sarah sounds great. The song, I don't know that it's literal about somebody who's a killer. Probably more figuratively, but you can interpret it however you want. Verse 1, empty eyes, heavy eyes, drift away to my heaven. Whatever waits inside, I'm just a ghost you think you know. Was there something you wanted to say? Goodbye. And then the chorus, my time has come. My head is falling off. I can kill you all and finally be alone. Destroyer, destroyer. And later on in verse 2, keep you here a while, and if I'm never forgiven, you can't say I didn't try. I tried to save so many lives. I guess my heart got carried away. I guess the dark turned off the light. Now, I know that they are rebooting the iconic TV show Dexter, where he is a sociopath serial killer. They could play this song and it would fit perfectly. I don't know, like I said, that she meant it literally, but a very, very strong tune. And now we're on to the final track on this album, Calling All. Let's check it out. Calling All, a song that is about call girls, boys and girls. This song grew on me. I did not like it when it started, then it really grew on me. The chorus is so catchy and basically just talking about the life of a call girl. The refrain, we all got a little bit of hoe in us, and just keeps going on. And then the chorus, shake, you know you want to shake, keep it going now. Really, really catchy. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. Like I said, it grew on me. I thought that the chorus was catchy. And that's going to take me to my favorite tracks. There's 10 tracks on here. I think 3 are, they're okay. 7 are either good, really good, or great. So that's going to make this a little bit difficult. I'm going to go with Barking Dog, where we had Josh on the vocals, but the song was so strong. And I like Josh's vocals, but Sarah is really, really good. Then I'm going to go with, you can really go with almost anything else. I'm going to go with Destroyer. I like the hauntingness of that song. And then I'm going to go with Same Old Blues, but you could basically give an honorable mention to almost every other song on here. Now we'll get to my overall score. As the life of the channels went on, my scores are much more tough, I guess you would say, but also they're not nearly as high because when the channel started, the first year it started, Trey and I kind of cherry picked the critics' best albums of all time, and in that you're going to have your highest grades. So it's hard nowadays to get a really good grade out of Sean, but this one is going to, on first listen, I'm going to be at an 8.0. I think this album is absolutely fantastic. I think there's so much diversity on here. You never get any sort of rhythm or mundane, like here we go again, another song that sounds the same. Perfect length, 10 songs, 36 minutes. Just a great offering. I highly recommend you give it a listen, and definitely give it a listen with these because you get much more out of it. Thanks, Mark. Always appreciate what you bring us. Thank you, everybody, for joining me, and I will see you next time.